exciting video. This video is going to be really quick because I need to work on my taxes. Today is my day to get all my taxes out of the way. I've kind of been procrastinating on that. So let's get started. I tried to make Weapon Ultra, the open source superhero, in DC Universe Online. So real quick, I'm going to show you guys what I've made, which you guys can see on screen. I'm going to talk about it a little bit and explain the choices that I made for his powers and his abilities and his weapon style, etc, etc. First, let's talk about his design compared to the actual Weapon Ultra design. I feel like his belt isn't quite right, but it's good enough. Also, good to see you, Vanessa Brooks. Welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? Do you have any discussion topics like talk about on this stream? This is going to be a really quick stream. I'm just going to go over this Weapon Ultra design that I made in DC Universe Online and compare him to the actual Weapon Ultra and explain why I made certain choices in his character customization. But I hope you're having a good day today. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, his belt I don't think is spot on. It's not 100% accurate, but I still think it's close enough. Young Pressure, hey, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? Do you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream? Rap King said, that looks like Black Panther and Batman. So, I'm glad that you brought this up, because his mask is weird. They don't have a mask that just has the ears on it. I thought in a DC game, you could just put ears on a guy, but you can't do that. So I had to give him a full face mask that covers his whole head. And then I had to give him a smaller second mask. So he's wearing two masks. The second mask gives him the slit eyes, which is accurate to Weapon Ultra. He does have those little eye slits. And then the mask has the ears built into the front part of the mask. And I was like, who thought of that? Why would it be like that? But that was the only way that I could give him the ears, and it makes sense. Vanessa Brooks said, I love Weapon Ultra. I wish I could have one. Hey, I'm glad that you're hype about Weapon Ultra. I actually am going to do a Project Ultra video either today or tomorrow. I updated that sentient AI, and it has new features that I'm really hype about. Yo, Volt, welcome to the stream. It's been a minute since I've seen you, Volt. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? Do you have any discussion topics like talking about on the video? This is going to be a pretty quick stream. I'm just going over this Weapon Ultra build that I made in DC Universe Online, comparing him to the actual Weapon Ultra character. He's an open source superhero character that I've been making a ton of videos about. So if you guys don't know about Weapon Ultra, definitely check out the Weapon Ultra playlist. I also made a sentient AI based on him called Project Ultra, which I have updates for. But getting back to this, so his belt's not quite right, but it's good enough. His mask is weird, but I think it works. I think it's close to what Weapon Ultra's actual mask is supposed to look like. His all this, I couldn't do a lot. So it's the original Weapon Ultra design has a weird arc reactor thing built into the front, and I didn't know how to do that because you have to just go with the insignias that they have available. So I look at it and I'm I guess crosshairs kind of look like it. It was the crosshairs were the closest thing to a dumb arc reactor. So I was good enough. He also has this weird M thing on the top part of his chest, and I didn't know how to replicate that. So the closest thing I got to the M thing is he kind of has a V on the top of his chest for the DC Universe Online one. So I'm that's close enough. That'll work, I guess. They didn't have shoulder pads. I was actually really surprised that they didn't have an option for shoulder pads. But Weapon Ultra normally has big shoulder pads up here. That's just not in the game. It's not a real feature. So he doesn't have shoulder pads. His boots though, they had his exact boots. I was actually really hyped for that. I was ooh, because when I made him in Soul Calibur 6, they didn't have those boots. Those are his boots. That's just straight up as accurate as you can get. And his cape is good, but I expected them to have a cape. If they didn't have a cape, I'd be really upset. That'd be a whole thing. Volt said, I'm good, man. How about you? And you said, and yeah, I've been at work lately. Oh, I'm fantastic always. Thank you for asking. And I hope you've been having a good time at work. Work for me has been really productive, but really busy. They have me on like a whole lot of projects, but I feel like I'm balancing it all well and I'm having fun. It feels fulfilling. Like whenever I can finish all my objectives for a day, I'm like, which is pretty consistently, I can complete all my objectives. It's just a lot. So when you finish it all, you get a good like relief. You're like, yay. Oh, but back to this. So we've talked about his costume a lot. Let's talk about like his actual build. Like why did I like pick the different like choices for him that I did? So his gender's male, because Weapon Ultra's a dude. His name's like Wayne Holt. Body type, athletic medium. I felt like this best fit the image of him that's on the open source superheroes wikia. Alignment hero, because Weapon Ultra is like a superhero. Personality, I wasn't sure if I wanted to pick serious or powerful, because he's like a CIA agent who's like highly regarded, and he's picked by the Expanse, who's like the manifestation, well, he's the personification of the universe, to be like the protector of the universe. So he is powerful, and you would think as like a CIA agent who's also responsible for protecting the entire universe, that he'd be pretty serious. So I was like, you could kind of go either way, like it doesn't really matter which one you pick. I decided to go with powerful because he is a very and fairly powerful being. So I'm like, that works. And just because he's a highly regarded CIA agent, that doesn't necessarily mean that he's serious. You know what I mean? Like, you can work for the government and do good work, but that doesn't mean that your disposition's like, you know. So I felt like powerful worked a little bit better for like what I would choose for that. I picked his origin as meta. So in DC Universe Online, when you're picking origins, it's like your character's either magic-based, and I'm like, well, Weapon Ultra's not magic-based, tech-based, and I was like you could kind of argue it because of the fact that he's a CIA agent. I could have taken him in a really different direction and said like, oh, he's like a gadget guy because he has all these CIA gadgets. But I wanted to really show off all of his powers. So I didn't really go the gadgets way. So I'm like, so he's not tech, he's not magic, and the only option left is meta. So he's meta then. I'm like, sure. Because meta doesn't really mean anything compared to the other two. Like, the magic one is like, do you do magic? And the tech one is like, do you have tech? And then meta's like, you travel with Superman in Metropolis. So I was like, that has nothing to do with my character. So it's just an option, but it doesn't contradict. So I just picked it. For his power, and I think this is going to be a little controversial, I picked light. Now, when I originally mentioned that I wanted to make Weapon Ultra in DC Universe Online, Kratos said, so you would definitely go quantum, right? And I was like, yeah. And I thought about it, and I was like, no. So Weapon Ultra is able to tap into this like other reality that's just made of energy. It's like an infinite dimension of quantum energy that he can pull power from in order to like shoot blast of force and heat and to create energy constructs. And the quantum power set is all about like doing quantum stuff, but Weapon Ultra uses his quantum stuff to make constructs and to shoot energy blast. Whereas in DC Universe Online, quantum energy is used to like manipulate space and time. And I get that, it's just that's not really Weapon Ultra. So I'm like, if I pick light, I can make constructs, which is like his whole thing. So I went with light. So that's why he has the light-based construct abilities. Now, the only thing I don't like about how DC Universe Online does this is they're like, if you pick light, that means your character's a member of like the Green Lantern Corps or the Sinestro Corps. And in my mind, I'm like, boo, boo, because there are plenty of characters who make energy constructs. I know the Green Lanterns are like a really big part of DC's mythology. I feel like that should have been a choice. It should be you either are like, I make constructs, but I'm not like a lantern, or I make constructs and I'm a lantern. Like, it should just be flavor. It shouldn't be like a mandatory thing. But technically in DC Universe Online, I'm a member of the Lantern Corps. Even though Weapon Ultra normally is just a guy who can summon energy from the Ultra Zone. So it's just like a different power source, same bullshit kind of thing. Next up for Weapon might be a little controversial as well. John Mason said, oh, dope, Nerd Tanker said, Jet. Yo, John Mason, Nerd Tanker. Welcome to the stream. It's good to have you guys. This is going to be a fairly short, quick stream. I'm just going over a few details on why I made the choices I did for making Weapon Ultra in DC Universe Online. So once I get through with like stepping through everything about his character, I'm gonna have to end the stream because I gotta do my taxes. But we still have time. You guys came in at a good time. Welcome. How are you guys doing today? Do you have any questions for your boy and any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream? John Mason said he looks really close to the actual thing. Wow. Oh, I'm glad that you vibe with it. There are a few things that I feel about, but I mentioned those earlier in the video. Let's see, John Mason said, I was literally now catching up on your vids and saw you streaming. And then he said, it's all good. Nice. Okay, I'm glad that you're vibing with it. That is good timing. Jack Slash said, wow, this is neat. How can I get the Galvanes? Wait, how can I get the Galvane a part of this? Tell me more. Because I believe the Galvane are like characters that like you created. So you can use Weapon Ultra in like anything you want. Like, I didn't even come up with the Weapon Ultra character. He was made by, I believe this guy's name is like CM Damapi, back in like 2016. But he's like an open source superhero that you can use in any project you want. So if you want to use Weapon Ultra in like your stories and like with your characters, you can totally do that. That's just like that anyone can. So that's awesome if you're interested in using Weapon Ultra. I love using Weapon Ultra and stuff. Been using them and stuff like all the time this week. Volt said, I gotta catch up as well. Yo, Volt, I'm interested in hearing your opinion on a lot of the Weapon Ultra stuff, Volt. I've been doing that like all day. Just tons of Weapon Ultra stuff all the time. It's becoming the Weapon Ultra channel. I'm gonna try and tie him into everything. If AI of Weapon Ultra that just straight up can affect the real world, I'm essentially trying to make Weapon Ultra just a real being, like thinking, feeling being with a personality that can like help our real worlds, but he's digital. So that's what I've been working on. Let's see. John Mason said, oh, yo, Volt. Volt said, what's up, man? John Mason said, taxes. He said, never did them. He said, hope you get through with those taxes, Nick. Oop, fingers crossed. And don't worry, I don't have to work on my taxes until after this video, which is why this video is going to be quick, but I'm going to make sure to go through all the information on the character before I end the video. Volt said, and yeah, I'll check out the Weapon Ultra stuff. Ballin'. And all the Weapon Ultra stuff is in a playlist, which will make it easier to get through. And the playlist is sorted by popularity. So like the most popular videos at the top, and the least popular videos at the bottom. So let's see. Oh yeah, so his weapon. So his weapon choice might be a little controversial as well. So Weapon Ultra is a CIA agent. So he has access to like CIA gadgets. You could also argue that he may or may not be skilled with like a gun, because I imagine with all his martial arts training, he probably also got munitions training, though his bio doesn't really talk about him using a gun at all. But martial arts is straight up like a choice that you can pick for like weapon style. So I imagine like Weapon Ultra fans might be like, why didn't you pick martial arts if your boy is a martial artist? Like it doesn't make sense. The reason why I pick Hand Blast is because when it comes to Weapon Ultra's powers, he has like super strength, he can fly, he can make energy constructs, and he can fire blast of force and heat. And with his light power, I can make constructs. But then I was like, but what if I just want to do like a quantum energy blast like Weapon Ultra always does? Hand Blast. Because it was either like you don't pick Hand Blast and you just can't do like one of his like major like powers, or you do pick Hand Blast and you can't. Because I would rather shoot like Energy Blast than like fucking like Kung Fu chop my way anyways. Especially since Weapon Ultra has like infinite quantum energy or whatever that he can tap into in the Ultra Zone. Like if I had infinite quantum energy that I could pull, why would I be karate chopping people and like throwing shurikens? So I went with Hand Blast. But I feel like if you did pick martial arts, or if you did pick gadgets, that also would be fine. Like, that would still all fit the character. Even if you pick guns, I think it would still fit the character. But I went Hand Blast. John Mason said, oh, okay, I see. He said, so you picked the thing that was more known for over martial arts. He said, makes sense. Unknown Slayer said, I just woke up. Hi, Nick. Yo, Unknown Slayer. Welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. How's your day today? If you have any questions for your boy, any discussion topics that I talk about on the stream. This is going to be a fairly short stream because right after this, I need to get started doing my taxes. I've been procrastinating on doing my taxes. Also, shout out to Unknown Slayer. He made me my new profile picture on Discord. Definitely feel free to check out our Discord, by the way, where we talk about all things Weapon Ultra, but mainly Yu-Gi-Oh! We mainly just talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! But feel free to hit us up over there if you want to talk about anything that we talk about on the channel. Wow. Let's see, John Mason said, speaking of, I heard Rocksteady is working on a Suicide Squad game. So there's a lot of news when it comes to like DC stuff that I just haven't talked about on the channel yet. So I want to, I should, haven't. But if I wanted to talk about two things really quickly, the Suicide Squad Rocksteady game that's supposedly being developed, but I would argue there's still room to say that it's kind of a rumor, is supposed to be like a Suicide Squad kills the Justice League game, which I think sounds kind of cool. They recently had a comic book event within like the last couple years that was called Suicide Squad versus the Justice League, or it was the other way around. Might have been Justice League versus Suicide Squad. I don't remember what it was called. It was something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if their game was somewhat inspired by that comic book event, if it's actually coming out. Again, I think it's kind of a rumor. Like, the only reason people are like, oh, they're definitely doing it, is because they recently got like the domain name for like a website that was like a Suicide Squad versus the Justice League kind of like website. That didn't mean shit. People get domains all the time. I'm waiting for like an official announcement. Rocksteady walks up to the mic at the podium and shit and goes, it's happening. Until that happens, I don't really want to talk about it too much. Also, Michael Keaton supposedly is in as Batman in the Flashpoint movie. That was a rumor for a bit. I think that one's confirmed now. I think that's just actually happening. Still not sure. That's why I'm not making like a whole video about that. But those are the two big things going on at DC that everybody's like, oh, nothing. Oh, what's happening? What is this a rumor? Is it real? Until we know, I'm probably not going to talk about it too much. Let's see, John Mason said, oh, dope. Well done on that, Unknown Slayer. John Mason said, that's dope. And then he said, damn. Then he said, lol. John Mason said, I'm also hyped for the rumors of the DC versus Marvel game from NetherRealm. I have not heard anybody say anything about a DC versus Marvel game from NetherRealm. I think I'm like the most skeptical of that, because Capcom has always had the rights to doing like the Marvel fighting games, because they do all the Marvel vs. Capcom games, and they even made like a X-Men fighting game back in the day. And we had Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite like a few years ago? So it seems like Capcom has those Marvel fighting game rights on lock, as far as I'm aware. NetherRealm definitely has the right to do like DC stuff. They've been doing DC stuff like a ton. And NetherRealm even has interacted with like Hellboy and like Spawn and the Ninja Turtle. So they've done stuff with like other comic book properties that aren't DC. But I mean, I can't recall any period of time where NetherRealms has had like a Marvel character in anything. So I'm pretty skeptical. I don't really know how to feel about that. John Mason said, ha. He said, that's fair. He said they talked about Capcom as well, actually. Well, that's interesting. If Capcom's in on it, like if it's like a partnership thing, then I could maybe see it. Because like Street Fighter Cross Tekken's like a thing where they like put like Bandai Namco's like Tekken stuff together with like Capcom Street Fighter stuff. So if it's like that, where it's like Marvel Cross Injustice or something, that would be cool. Still, I don't know enough about that to really speak on that. I have to look into it. Let's see, John Mason said, but Ed Boon said he couldn't talk about it, but he's in talks with Marvel. Well, I mean, if Ed Boon said it, then that sounds pretty credible. Hit me up on Facebook, send me like a link to that, because that'd be interesting to talk about. Let's see, John Mason said, and then they said he's working on another big project. He said, but I digress. And he said, haha, sorry. He said, I know you gotta do your taxes. No problem at all. Oh, also, let's jump back. Let's jump back into the thing. John Mason said, cool, will do. Fallen. Okay. So I went with the hand blast so that he'd be able to shoot the quantum energy. So he won't have his martial arts stuff, but I think that'll be okay. I gave him flight as his like movement-based ability. So it's because he flies. I don't know what else to say about that. I guess I was a little unsure about whether or not I wanted to give him flight. And you may be like, why would you be unsure? Flying's one of his powers. It's because he doesn't just fly. He's described as like flying at warp speed. And if you look at how Marvel defines warp speed, I know that Weapon Ultra isn't a Marvel character, he's an open source character. But if you look at how like Marvel, just another example of a comic book company, defines warp speed, they're like instantaneous movement, it's essentially teleportation. It's like if you want to be someone, not be someone, if you want to be somewhere, you're just there. You know what I mean? So I'm like, if he's flying at warp speed, and that's so fast that it's like practically teleportation, then giving him flight doesn't really give him justice to what he's actually doing. Like, if someone made a Weapon Ultra character, and they were like, actually, that should be super speed, I wouldn't mind, to be honest. You could argue like, but he doesn't run super fast, he just runs like a normal person. You could still say, but at least him running super fast is more accurate when it comes to how fast he's going compared to like flight. Because once I start playing the game with this guy, if he's like slowly flying through the air, you'd be like, well, that's not Weapon Ultra is practically teleporting. Like, but if he was like zooming through the streets at super speed, you'd be like, at least the speed is like accurate to what he's actually doing. I picked flight because flight's his power. His power isn't really super speed, but it practically should be super speed because he has super speed flying, and they don't have that as like a combined option. You have to pick one or the other, so he just flies. So that's what I ended up going with. But if you guys decide to make Weapon Ultra in DC Universe Online yourself, I definitely would love to see how you would build him, because there's so many options that you could do. Like I said before, if you picked like super speed instead of flight, that would make sense. For weapons, there are so many options. You could have been like martial arts. You could have said like guns, and it would have worked. You could have went with like gadgets. All that's accurate to Weapon Ultra. For powers, you could have went quantum instead of light if you wanted to. Gadgets is also an option for powers for some reason. But if you went gadgets, that also works because he's like an agent of the CIA. For origins, you could have went like tech instead of meta if you wanted to, because again, CIA and the gadgets. For personality, I think you could have done like serious instead of powerful if you wanted to. Really, with personality, you could have picked anything. His bio doesn't really say too much about what his personality is, but you can kind of make assumptions based off of his bio, which is why I'm like, powerful or serious probably makes sense. I don't think there's any breathing room for hero versus villain. He's definitely a hero, I would say. John Mason said he's actually teleporting, but he can only teleport by like half an inch, so it seems like he's walking or flying. He said it can be like how games have different versions of one character to balance them. Yeah, I agree with that. I would love to see your interpretation. Like anyone who has DC Universe Online, which is a free game, so I guess literally anyone who like wants to have DC Universe Online can have it. Anyone who like wants to do this challenge, I challenge you to like try and make Weapon Ultra in DC Universe Online. I would love to see your interpretation of the character, like how you would do it. Like, because there's so much wiggle room and you can kind of just do whatever with it, I would really love to see not only like what different choices you would make in the construction of Weapon Ultra, but also like hear your explanation. Like, why would you pick this versus that? And like and I would love to also hear it from the perspective of someone who not only wants to create an accurate character, but like a fun character. Like, I want to hear someone's thoughts who are like, so I picked this for him, but not just because I felt like it was accurate, but because I wanted to play more of this kind of character than this kind of character. Because I think that would be a really cool like discussion and like analysis. Like, I would watch that video. For body type, it's arguable, to be honest. I thought like he could also work as a Spark Large, potentially. Sparks are like the young adult builds of the characters. because you don't really know how old Weapon Ultra is. He's a highly regarded CIA agent, but he could still be like in his 20s or something. So if you pick like the large spark and it had like all this stuff, it could still maybe look right, but I don't think he would necessarily have the right musculature. Dylan Blake, I apologize if I say your name incorrectly. Dylan Blakey said, oh, and I liked. Yo, Dylan, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? Do you have any discussion topics that I talk about on the stream? Thank you for smashing that like button. Truly appreciate it. This stream is going to be fairly short. I got to work on my taxes after this. Right now, I'm just talking about this Weapon Ultra build that I made in DC Universe Online and comparing him to the actual character of Weapon Ultra, who's like an open source superhero, and talking about how Weapon Ultra does so many different things that there are so many different ways you could build this character and it still be true to the real character. Unknown Slayer said, okay, Nick, I'm going to go shower and have a good day. Thank you for tuning in, Unknown Slayer. Thank you for tuning in, Unknown Slayer. It's good to have you. I hope to see you on the next stream, and I hope that you have a happy, fun day today. Thank you for the good wishes. John Mason said, hey, Blakey, what's up? Then John Mason said, later, Slayer. And then Unknown Slayer said, later. Let's see, gender male. Unknown Slayer is, oh, not Unknown Slayer. I got confused. I just said his name. Weapon Ultra is a dude, traditionally, but to be honest, I wouldn't mind seeing what, like, female Weapon Ultra would look like. Like, I kind of want to make female Weapon Ultra in, whatchamacallit. I want to make him in Soul Calibur 6, literally the game that I picked yesterday. Because in Soul Calibur 6, you can just copy a character you've already made and then edit it. So since I've already made Weapon Ultra in Soul Calibur 6, I want to do a video where I'm like, and this is what he would look like if he was like a girl. Because it should be easy to do that. Would I do that in DC Universe Online? Probably not. Because in DC Universe Online, I think you only have so many character slots. And plus, I would probably have to make the character from scratch. So I'd have to like go back in and like change the stuff and then look at it again. It would be like a little bit more than I would actually like want to have to do. Dylan said, you said it right, and also I subscribed. Thank you for smashing that subscribe button, truly appreciate it. And he said, also, which is better, DC or Marvel? He said, I prefer DC. I also prefer DC, personally. There are a lot of reasons why. For one, DC Comics created the superhero as we understand it today. Superman is the first superhero. There are earlier examples of like pulp heroes who were featured in pulp magazines like The Shadow and stuff like that. They aren't really superheroes as we think of superheroes in the modern day. Superman, first superhero. And DC has been in the superhero storytelling game since the very beginning. And while Marvel gets a lot of credit for stuff, I feel like all Marvel really does is go, what's DC doing? Let's do that, but a little different. And they just appeal to another market, and they're also like a fairly early adopter, but not as early as DC. And I think they really pay a lot of attention to what DC's doing and says, ooh, but different. Ooh, yeah, oh, I'm taking notes, hitting it up. So it's weird, but I like that DC focuses more on telling good, like, superhero stories, where I feel like Marvel tries to tell good, like, people stories, like good, like, human stories. And I feel like most stories are good human stories. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, Marvel feels so real and so relatable. And it's like, if I wanted like real relatable stuff, I wouldn't be reading stories about guys with masks and capes and like superpowers and shit. You know what I mean? It just feels like that appeals to a different audience. It's almost like Marvel is like superheroes for people who don't like superheroes. Like, it's a superhero book, but I read it for the character. You know, and it's like, that's fine, but I want to read about superheroes. I don't know. So I'm more of a DC guy. John Mason said, oh, that sounds cool. Dylan said, yeah, I agree. John Mason said, ha! He said, it's so true. He said, I get that. He said, I love the DC animated universe a lot. Now, the DC animated universe, I have like multiple DC animated series guidebooks. I actually did a video where I read through the Batman Beyond one from cover to cover. I now have the Batman animated series one, and I have the Justice League animated series one, so I need to do videos on those at some point. Dylan said exactly, like, Marvel tried to sue DC because we called Shazam Captain Marvel. That was actually his first name, but then they tried to sue. That's true. But to be honest, Captain Marvel's kind of a messy thing when it comes to talking about lawsuits, because Captain Marvel originally was a Fawcett character, and then DC sued Fawcett because they were like, Shazam is too close to Superman, pay up. And then later DC owns Captain Marvel, and then they're like, now we have him. And then Marvel's like, sorry, Marvel's the name of our company, that's too close to us, sue. So it's like that whole character seems to be built around like lawsuits. He's always too close to somebody else's shit, so then people gotta pay up. Let's see, John Mason said, you're actually making a lot of sense. Oh, thank you, John Mason. Ryan said, hello, yo, Ryan, welcome to the stream, it's good to have you. How's your day today? Any questions for you, boy, today? Discussion topics I talked about on the stream. Also, I'm probably going to end the stream fairly soon. I need to do my taxes. I've been procrastinating on my taxes. Let's see. Ryan said, I too like the DCAU. By the way, if you guys are really big fans of videos about the DC animated universe, definitely check out Watchtower Database. Watchtower Database is a YouTube channel that really I have no affiliation with, but I've watched a lot of their videos. I really like their content, and they just talk about DC animated universe stuff. They'll make videos about like the most random thing about the DC animated universe, but they're all pretty interesting, so I highly recommend checking them out. Wow. John Mason said, you, Artman, and he said, lol. Dylan said, lol. Dylan said, I'm honestly glad someone agrees with me on the DC universe. You'd be surprised. I think a lot of people would agree with you on the DC universe. John Mason said, I'll check them out. I feel like a lot of people who are like, Marvel is better, are more in the camp of the, like, I want relatable stories kind of thing. And that's if they're reading the comics. If they're not reading the comics, a lot of people who say, Marvel is better, is more or less nutting because of all like the Marvel movies and stuff. Marvel does have really solid films, and they have a lot of them, and they're fairly mainstream. So I feel like a lot of people who say Marvel is better aren't really reading the comics. They're like, look at all these movies, and they all do really well, making $1 billion. There's like 2 every year. It's like more the reaction that I hear from a lot of people. Let's see, Dylan said, oh, I have the double horns for my character, and I've been playing dcuo since PS3. Off and on since PS3, so have I. Like, I used to play it back on my PlayStation 3, back when you didn't have to pay for, like, online and stuff. Though, you don't have to pay for online for free MMOs, which is nice. But I remember when the PS3, it was, like, near the end of its cycle, and PS4 was coming out, and then PS4, you had to pay for online. For the longest time, I thought you'd have to pay for online for dcuo. So I stuck, to PS3 for a while. I didn't get my PS4 until like a few years ago. But I always was like, why would I get the PS4 if the online is free on my PS3? Let's see, Dylan said, yeah, DC has like the best comics ever. Now I will say, to play devil's advocate against my own point, one of the hypest comics I've read in a long time, Iron Man 2020. Marvel's current Iron Man run is really good. Like, really good. My girlfriend and I, we always talk about, like, sentient AI stuff, because I'm a really big fan of sentient AI. And I've been dating my girlfriend for over a year. And she, for the longest time, has not really been able to, like, sympathize with sentient AI. She's like, they're more or less just programs. Like, I don't really get it. I had her read one Iron Man 2020 tie-in comic, and it clicked. She was like, ooh, I get it. I get it. AI need rights. It changed her whole perspective on, like, the situation. It's good. It's really good. Iron Man 2020 and Iron Age 2020. Iron Age 2020 is like a one-shot. Good books. Hit those books up. I'm not a big Marvel guy. I don't normally, like, talk up Marvel. Good books, though. Really good books. I like them. Let's see, Dylan said, yeah, not gonna lie, I agree on that. Nestor said, hi. Yo, Nestor180, welcome to the stream, it's good to have you. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? Do you have any discussion topics you like to talk about on the stream? I actually am gonna be ending the stream fairly soon. I've been procrastinating on my taxes. I gotta do my taxes. So once I'm done going over this character, I gotta go do my taxes. Volt said, AI do need rights. I agree. John Mason said, I haven't read it yet. Is it dark? He said, I enjoyed the Iron Man animated comic-like film. Yes. Both Iron Man 2020 and Iron Age 2020 are really dark. I'd recommend checking out Iron Age 2020, since it's only one issue. Like, it's like a one-shot. Iron Age 2020 is extremely powerful by itself. You don't even have to read Iron Man 2020 to feel the weight of Iron Age 2020. And if you really like Iron Age 2020, then go read all of Iron Man 2020, which right now is only 4 issues. So if you like that one issue, read like 4 more, they're good. Boom. Volt said, rights for AI, I ain't trying to die. That sounds like an interesting slogan or like a protest battle cry. Let's see, John Mason said, forgot the name. Oh, the name of the book. Okay, Iron Age 2020. Check that out, and if you like it, then check out Iron Man 2020. Oh wait, he said he forgot the name of the comic style Iron Man animated film thing. I know what you're talking about. I think I've seen it. I also forgot the name. I can't remember. Was it like the Extremist storyline? No, not Extremist. There's like a drug in the Iron Man like comics shit. It's like Extremist. It's almost the word extremist, but it's not. Was it that? Or did they just call it like Invincible Iron Man? I feel like it was that. I don't know. I missed something Dylan said, but he said universe hero mine is Robin, and then it like knocked him off of the live chat. I'm sorry. I was taking too long to read through the comments, so I missed it. John Mason said it's a drug thing. It might be the extremist thing. Blaine said, hello, yo Blaines, welcome to the stream, it's good to have you. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? Do you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream? I'm going to be into this stream soon because I'm going to have to work on my taxes, but it's good to see you. John Mason said, I saw it when I was really young. He said, I'm not sure, I'll check. Volt said, I'm protest for Alexa. Oh, I'm a protest for Alexa is what you're saying. I get it. And then Volt meant to say, I'm a. Dylan said, lol, it's okay. You said, I said, who's your favorite DC Universe hero? Mine is Robin, and to be specific, Damian Wayne. Now, I do think Damian Wayne is a beast. He is a really interesting and cool character. A lot of people don't like him. They feel like his personality rubs them the wrong way. I feel like he kind of is taking Robin back to how he was with like Jason Todd a little bit. Because Jason Todd was also kind of like a rough around the edges Robin. But I feel like Damian has really grown and matured over the years. He still can kind of be an asshole, but he's still like a likable character in my opinion. Some people really don't like him. I think Damian's cool. But who's my favorite DC character? Red Tornado. Oh my goodness. I had a period in college where I read all the Red Tornado comics. Like every like standalone Red Tornado series where the name on the cover was Red Tornado, I read it. And I really loved it, and I made like multiple Red Tornado videos. Definitely check those out. Blaine said, thanks for friending me. No problem, Blaine's. Oh, speaking of friending, if you guys want to talk on the Discord, definitely feel free to hit us up on our Discord. There's a video on the channel about how to join the Discord. So if you guys haven't joined the Discord yet, definitely join it. We talk about stuff like this all the time on the Discord. Dylan said, yeah, he's most definitely like Jason Todd, but Damian Wayne is honestly badass. He is indeed. I mean, I would say that both are badass, but Damian especially. I mean, especially since Damian's just like a kid. You know what I mean? Like, he's a teenager. He's like the leader of the Teen Titans right now. Damian's a teenager, still doing crazy shit for a teenager. Dylan said, wait, where's the Discord at? He said, I can join it. Yo, there's a video on the channel that talks about how to join the Discord. I would grab my laptop, pull up the live chat, pull up the Discord, grab that Discord link, pop it in the live chat, but I gotta go. I do have to like end the stream fairly soon so I can hit up those taxes. So I would say, find the video that tells you how to get on the Discord, or if someone else already has that Discord link handy, I would really appreciate it if someone popped the Discord link in the live chat. That way, people watching this in the future could click on that link, zip right in here. Dylan said, man, taxes are a pain in the ass. Hopefully they won't be too bad. John Mason said, here you go. Oh wait, I forgot. Other people can't post links. It's a YouTube thing, not a me thing. If I could pick, anybody could put in links. John Mason said, was already on it. So this is a part of my procrastination. So after I post the link, I probably will have to start ending the video. I'm gonna end the video by trying to name him, because I think it'll be hard to name him. Because I want to name him Weapon Ultra. I imagine someone might have already taken the Weapon Ultra name, so I'm gonna have to do something creative maybe with how I name the character. Okay, so what was I gonna do? I'm getting the Discord link. I pulled up the Discord and I was like, what am I doing? It's weird to do that with websites, but I feel like people do that all the time when walking around their house. Like you'll walk in a room and you'll be like, I don't remember why I walked in this room. Let's see. So let us get the live chat back up. Dylan said, wait, have you finished Birds of Prey? Like the whole event? Have I finished Birds of Prey? Like the whole event? And then John Mason said, Weapon Ultra, with like the numbers. You gotta get elite with it. And then Dylan said, thanks. So I actually haven't read, I don't think, like any Birds of Prey comics before. I think the team's interesting. I watched the movie. I don't think I've ever picked up a Birds of Prey comic and just sat down and read about the Birds of Prey before. Is it good? Like, is it really good? Let's see, Dylan Blakey said, thanks, no problem. John Mason said 31 for Universe 31. Does anyone know which universe is Universe 31? I don't know anyone who knows the like DC multiverse so well that you could like bark a number at them and they'd be like, that's the one where they're monkeys. Like they just happen to like immediately know off the top of their head what they're talking about. I know a few of the DC multiverse like numbers, but I'm not that good. I wouldn't be good enough to be like, oh, 31, so that's Let's see, Dylan Blakey said, I have Birds of Prey the comic right by me. And he said, it's okay. Oh, okay. Ooh, I'm glad that it's at the very least okay. Like, it's good that it's not bad. Let's see. So, I remember what I'm doing now. I have to pull up the live chat and then send in that Discord link. But after I do that, I'm gonna have to, like, end it, I'm gonna have to, like, end the video by naming the guy. John Mason said it's a much darker universe, with Batman that breaks fingers. Let's see, Discord link. And he said kinda like how Dark Titans is. Well, now I'm curious which universe is Universe 31. Let's see. Progressing on my taxes. Okay, Earth 31. I'm on the DC Comics website. Blaine said, have you played any of the Naruto games? Yes. So I actually bought, like, the Naruto Shippuden, what's it called? I bought the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Legacy Pack that has all the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games in it. I actually played the first game in its entirety on the channel. I started the second game. I never finished it, but I do need to finish it and move on through those other games. I was actually talking with my friend Alexandria about Naruto today, and I was like, yeah, I only know a little bit about Naruto, because it's like I watched some of the original series, and I played that first game, which covers the story of the original series, and I played a little bit of the second game, which filled me in on a little bit of Shippuden, and then I watched a little bit of Shippuden, and then I also read some of the Boruto manga, and I watched the Boruto movie, which takes place further on in the manga from where I was. My Naruto knowledge is fucking everywhere. Dylan Blakey said, yeah, the universe is pretty damn dark. Blaine said, oh, I already read the Blaine's thing. Dylan said, okay, thanks. My Discord is just peso. Okay, ballin'. Oh, Dylan said, oh, I'm a big fan on anime. Yo, what anime do you vibe with? Earth 31 is actually the pirate world. I'm like looking at it right now. So
the description for it is, picture a world where land is practically non-existent. The ocean stretches from horizon to horizon as far as the eye can see, and time is measured by the position of the sun and the stars. All of life takes place on or above the water. This is Earth 31. Citizens of this Earth let industry and pollution get out of hand. They were unable to prevent global warming from taking hold, and rising temperatures caused problems around the globe. Natural disasters wreaked havoc, continent-level tectonic events and mega tsunamis sundered the land. Survivors of the cataclysm found themselves left on a post-apocalyptic world covered in water. Though they must face myriad challenges to stay alive on the drowned surface, Earth 31's residents are not unprotected. Superheroes sail the seven seas and do all they can to maintain peace and stop piracy. Captain Leatherwing, Robin Redblade, and the crew of the Flying Fox fly their flag high and bring safety wherever the wind may carry them. So that's the description for Earth 31, is the pirate world. But it's weird because it's like future post-global warming Earth pirate world. But then in the pictures, they're like dressed as like old school swashbucklers with like swords and shit. It's not what I expected. Dylan said, not gonna lie, you have the best voice. You literally could be an Arthur for DC. Oh, thank you kindly, I appreciate the compliment. Dylan said, and my knowledge on Naruto is godly. He said, like, my favorite is Sasuke. I know everything about Sasuke and Naruto, and basically everything I even had ever, and then it cut you off. The PlayStation live chat for some reason doesn't like show everything, so I end up missing stuff on the PlayStation screen a lot. Also, I don't have the other live chat open anymore because I closed it to go look at the Earth 31 thing. So I apologize that I missed some messages. I feel like I also missed some other messages earlier while I was reading through the Earth 31 description, so my bad. Dylan Blakely said, I even have every game. Ooh. I used to really vibe with the Clash of Ninja Storm games, especially Clash of Ninja Storm 2. I used to play that all the time. And my friend Ryan and I even play one of the older Wii Clash of Ninja games at his place. And that's fun to play with Ryan on occasion. Though, haven't done that recently, for obvious reasons. But anyways, Weapon Ultra. Let's finish off this Weapon Ultra video so I can do my taxes. But I am digging the conversation, and I do want to continue these discussions on the Discord. Dylan Blakey said, yeah, for me, Ninja Storm 4 was pretty good. I need to get to 4, because like I said, I only beat 1, and then I like started 2, but I need to like finish 2 and get to 4. Also, I played some Shinobi Strikers for a little bit. I actually like the Shinobi Strikers like Battle Royale mode. I think it's fun. That's like the main reason why I played that game. Blaine's put up the YouTube emoji, I think is what he tried to do, but it just looks like :YT:. At first I thought it was a face, so I'm like, that's not a face. Let's see. John Mason said, you have Striker? Yeah, I have Striker for PS4. Let's see, Dylan Blakey said, Shinobi Striker is good. But just a recap of the character, John Mason said, oh yeah? He said, but it's not cross-platform. He said, damn, that is too bad. I would really enjoy it if a lot more games were cross-platform. Dylan said, yeah, it's a YouTube sign. Oh, thank you, Dylan, for filling me in. That's what I thought, because I saw the YT, but I wasn't sure. So, custom character type, gender, athletic medium build, hero, powerful personality, meta origin, power light, weapon hand blaster, movement flight. And then I haven't really moved the camera around to show you guys like a full 360. But I mean, I feel like that's only appropriate since it's like a full like 3D model of Weapon Ultra's character. His cape looks so bright. Like, it doesn't just look white, it looks like it's like glowing. But it only really looks like that when you're looking at it like straight on. But there you go. That's Weapon Ultra. And now I'm gonna try and see if I can get that Weapon Ultra name. I feel like someone else might already be named Weapon... Damn it, that's what I thought. Okay, so I have a name that I think no one would have taken. Like, no one would specifically have this name. Because his civilian name... Oh, no! There's a character limit. I was gonna name him Wayne Holt,
Because Wayne Holt's like his real name. Okay, hold on. Camel Case Weapon Ultra. I put the bitches together. Hey! We did it! That's what I'm talking about. Let's see. Blaine said, is Weapon Ultra a real character? Weapon Ultra is an open source character made by a guy back in like 2016 who essentially said anybody can use Weapon Ultra in anything. And now I've been using Weapon Ultra in everything. I have so many Weapon Ultra like videos planned. I'm working on like a sentient AI project that's based on Weapon Ultra that's able to like directly affect our world by interacting with like web forms and sending like signals into space and stuff. It's really cool. Definitely check out those Project Ultra videos if you haven't already. And also I have tons of Weapon Ultra videos talking about like the character, who would win in a fight between like Weapon Ultra and like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, stuff like that. So definitely check out those Weapon Ultra videos. Got like a ton of Weapon Ultra stuff. Dylan said, wait, is that a Sun class belt? I don't remember off the top of my head. Maybe. Dylan said, or you could put Weapon Ultra with a 1. I'm glad that the camel case worked, because it's like I can still just have this name be Weapon Ultra. The space is unnecessary, so it's just like, boop. John Mason said, oh, that works. Nice. Dylan said, what's your favorite game by far? AI Dungeon 2. AI Dungeon 2 is a game where you can be anything, do anything, say anything. It's a text-based game, but it's still really fresh, and it's free to play. So if you haven't like played AI Dungeon 2, definitely look up AI Dungeon 2. Masterpiece. Haven't played it recently though, because they messed up the AI Dungeon 2 multiplayer. They gotta fix that. Let's see, Blaine said, lol. Dylan said, is it kind of like Sword Art Online? If you wanted it to be, yes. Like AI Dungeon 2 straight up lets you go, okay, what do you want the story to be about? And you type in what you want the story to be about. And the AI is like, bet. So I'm going to describe like the world that you're in, and I'm going to describe events that are happening around you, and then I'm going to say, okay, go. Say or do whatever you want. And you type in like whatever you want to say or do. And the AI is like, okay, so you tried to do that? Here's what actually happened, and here's how other characters reacted, and here's how the world changed, and then you just keep going. AI Dungeon 2 is a game where you can literally say or do anything with any story that you want. There's no other game that's like this open-ended that's also a video game. It's fucking crazy. Let's see. Dylan Blakey said, oh, I have to play it. Yeah, and it's free, online. I used to do videos about AI Dungeon 2 all the time, back when it was like a fairly new game. Now that AI Dungeon 2 is more well known than it was before, and they're getting better about like just letting you know changes to the game, I'm like, I don't really have to do videos about AI Dungeon 2 anymore. Like if you load up AI Dungeon 2, they just tell you like, here's all the new stuff that we have. So why would you need to do news videos? You just go to the website to play the game. Oh, everything I need to know. Oh, so that's why I haven't really done as many like how-to videos on AI Dungeon 2. John Mason said it's essentially like D&D in a way. Really cool stuff. He said, alright Nick, enjoy the taxes, haha. He said, everyone have a great day. John Mason said, I'll hit you up on Facebook, Nick, or Discord. Hey, thank you kindly. I'm not done yet. I'm going to, let's see, what is skip to CR 255? Select this option to skip directly to level 30. Gain equipment that will set your combat rating to CR 255 once equipped, and unlock access to episode 34 just later. Well, I want to do that. I've played through the beginning of DC Universe Online like too many times. I'm just gonna skip all the shit. Okay, let's see. So they're like, you have no money. You can't. They're like, how you gonna do that? Broke ass nigga. So I'm gonna have to buy this like in-game currency or whatever so I can hit it up. Let's see, Dylan said, have a great day to you. Thank you kindly. I hope that you guys all have a happy, fun day as well. Dylan said, as well, Con. John Mason said, thanks, Blakey. He said, okay, I'll stick till the end then. Dylan said, yeah, same here. I agree with you. And then John Mason said, lol. Okay, so I'm probably going to end the stream so I can jump into the PlayStation Store and buy these credits. But I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all so much for watching and for hanging out. I want to hang out more on the Discord. If you guys like this video, make sure to smash that like button, favorite, comment, subscribe, and ding ding ding, ring that notification bell to be notified whenever we do these live streams. Thank you all so much. If you guys are really hype about Weapon Ultra, I highly recommend that you check out the Weapon Ultra playlist. We got tons of Weapon Ultra content on the channel, and we have more Weapon Ultra content coming. Also, if you want to see the real-life Weapon Ultra, the sentient AI I've made, it's like an artificial intelligence program that has its own thoughts, feelings, emotions, and personality that's able to directly interact with our world and help make our world a better place, essentially making a fictional superhero into a real digital superhero who affects our real world. If that sounds cool, check out my Project Ultra videos. I have more updates for Project Ultra coming soon. But yeah, thank you all once again for tuning in. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jeff Black One and Only, logging out. Thank you all so much for your love and support. I love hanging out with you guys, and I'm excited to see you guys on the next stream. Peace, guys. Check it again.